Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the last chapter of class 11th NCERT Indian Economics, that is India and its neighborhood. Development experiences of India comparison with neighbors. So this chapter may be an important chapter with respect to your prelims but not as much important with respect to your means examination, because in this chapter only the comparison of three countries, that is India, Pakistan and China, have been compared with respect to economic activities, their economic situation way back in 1950, 1970s, and the current economic situation, that is 2015 to 2018. So the first point is development path. India, Pakistan and China, they have almost the same development path in the beginning. So India announced its first 5-year plan in 1951 to 56. That was India's first 5-year plan. Pakistan first 5-year plan was in 1956. China announced the first 5-year plan in 1953. Okay. Now coming back to China, after the establishment of People's Republic of China, that is PRC, under one party rule or the government rule, that PRC was established. Great Leap Forward campaign, this can be important. It was initiated in 1958, which aimed at industrialization at a very massive scale. So this can come in your prelims examination on in one of your statements. Now what happened after this? A severe drought that happened in China, it killed 30 million people. Mao introduced great proletariat cultural revolution from 1966 to 76. In that, students and professionals were sent to work and learn from the countryside. Now, in order to attract the foreign investors, special economic zones were set up. So China has achieved this economic activity in a similar way. Now, what happens in a normal growth? China has followed the standard rule from going from agrarian economy to manufacturing economy to services economy. Apart, unlike that of India and Pakistan, they have directly gone from an agrarian economy to a service class economy. Coming back to Pakistan, it follows a mixed economic model. Then, second, there are demographic indicators. So, what does the demographic indicator states for India? Out of 6 persons living in this world, one is an Indian and another is a Chinese. You can imagine the population of India and China. Now, the third point is gross domestic product and different sectors. China has the second largest GDP, purchasing power parity of $22.5 trillion in world, whereas India's GDP is $9.03 trillion and Pakistan GDP is $9.94 trillion. So China is the highest GDP, then the second is India, and the third is Pakistan. China maintained a double-digit growth, that is 10.3% during 1980s and 1990s, when many developing countries find difficult in maintaining to get the growth to 5% even. In 1980s, Pakistan was ahead of India in terms of GDP. So this point you should remember when there can be a multiple choice question in your prelims examination. If you compare the GDP percentage from 1980 to 2015, India was having 5.7% growth and now it is having 7.3% growth. China was way back having 10.3% growth, now it is reduced to 6.8% growth. Pakistan was having that time 6.3% growth in 1980s and 90s, and now it is 5.3% is growth. So if you see all the three countries, India has grown drastically if you see the GDP percentage growth compared to China and Pakistan. Service sector contributes the highest gross value addition in all the three countries. That is one point in common with respect to all the three countries. China normal growth, as I've already told, agriculture, then industry, then service. This is how the economy went. For Pakistan and India, it went from directly to agriculture to services sector class. The fourth point is human development indicators, human development index value 2017 to 19. The value and rank also. India is having a SDI of 0.645, rank 130. China 0.761, rank 187. Pakistan value of 0.557 and rank 154. Overall conclusion is that till 1970s, all the three countries maintain the same level of low development. In the last 3 decades, these countries have taken different trajectories of economic development. India performed moderate, but still majority depends on the agriculture now. China there is a lack of political freedom. Human rights are major concerns. India and Pakistan, there are efforts to privatize the public sector. China follows market mechanisms to create additional social and economic opportunities. And coming to the reforms, in China, reforms were introduced in 1978. 1991 in India and 1988 in Pakistan. So these points are important for the prelims examination for this chapter. The GDP percentage are very important with respect to your prelims examination. So do read these figures. Thank you, White. Please like this video and subscribe the channel. Future videos will be coming soon. Thanks a lot.